Welcome to number 18, Simplex. Another, what is it? Another, I can't remember, another Simplex restoration number 18. I found this, well, I've remembered this from my original pile of rubbish because I said in the last episode these are not sealing, I'll put bungs in. And I thought, hang on a minute, if these have got the same thread, these are lovely, got little wooden handles, look, and everything. So, let's give it a go. I'm going to use my new parallel pliers. Live action. You've never done live action before. I've always done. Ooh, that's gone.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Oh.
I reckon that looks very similar. I reckon that's going to fit. Well, we'll just see if we can test that somehow then. Well, I suppose the way to test it is to screw it in there because it can't be any worse, can it? Anyway, in other news, this is not quite a digression, but I've got this, look. Loctite 542. Loctite 542. Now, don't you wish you had £1 for every time you heard Keith Appleton say Loctite 542? Eh? Well, I got some. Somebody recommended it and well, it's always been recommended, and somebody put a comment in. Thank you very much. So I've got some. I'm going to use that. Bless Keith Appleton. I think Keith Appleton's are the best steam videos on YouTube. So I don't suppose you'll mind me taking the mic. You don't even know who I am. This nut locker pen, look, that is thread lock, sort of industrial style, and I got a box of about 5, I think, and I've got 2 left, and I've still got half of one that I use. Them 2 haven't been opened yet, but that's what I've been using. So I don't know anything about it, but I used it when I was restoring cars, and it was plenty good enough there. That's what I've been using on here, you see. So what I'll do is I'll clean this off and redo it with Loctite 542. Right, this is going to be my very last shooting on this locomotive because I am giving up with it. Anyway, since last time I shot anything, I have got me Loctite 542 and I've sealed up all these joints around here. I'm going to clamped up that rubber seal on there, and that's cured a lot of the leaks. So that's fine to run on air. Now this, right, in a previous video I've talked about, well, I've made this overrun valve. Well, it doesn't work. It leaks like hell. When I turn the power on, it's blowing out here like hell, so it's not working. So the alternatives are I could rebuild it and put a spring behind it or something. But some people say they don't even bother with them because they're not necessary. And as I'm going to run this, if I run it at all, I'm going to run it on compressed air. Because I'm only going to use it on this rolling road, I don't need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the pipe at the back, flatten it and solder it up so that it's solid, so that it doesn't need to work. But I'm going to leave that there because it looks nice. And then I'm going to lift the whole thing and put it at the back there because it's in my way, so I can use this bench now. And then I'm just going to leave it there, and occasionally when I want to play with it, I can connect it up to the air and give it a little bit of a run. But I'm basically lost interest in it, I suppose. And if anybody wants to buy it, they can make me an offer for it. But I'm a bit disappointed with the whole hobby, to be honest. The engineering, it was something I was looking forward to, and I just don't think it's well, it's not for me, but it's let down by the clubs. The clubs seem to be run by a bunch of shop floor Charlies who made it into management and run these clubs in right queer ways. There's a lot of them are just, it's like, look at me, look what I do for the club, look what I do for the club. I think they've made all the locos they're ever going to make now, and they're just messing around with the club, and it's just basically, look at me, look what I do. Aren't I just a club legend? And it's like, and I'm sure people are watching this going, yeah, I know somebody just like that. And the other thing is, your suppliers, you people, the suppliers who supply the gear. You order stuff and it's not in stock, but they don't let you know. You wouldn't have that from Tesco's. Currys, you imagine you ordered a fridge from Currys and they say, yeah, it'll be here in a couple of days, and it don't turn up. And you say, where's my fridge? And they say, oh, well, it's not there at the minute. It'll be a couple of weeks' time. You know, you wouldn't accept it. So why do you accept it with these? When I was unemployed many years ago, I wish I'd have known, because I could have easily took a tenner off you for something and then just gone out and bought it for a £5 and posted it to you and made a £5. You know, and if you're daft enough to accept it, you could set up a business without any capital. Don't know what's going on. But anyway, rant over. The next series of videos I'll probably do my car, which is about a 5th scale, which is my own design. But when I get started on that, which I've got to clear out at the minute, I'm still clearing out loads of stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching this series of videos, and that'll be the end of it then. Not so fast. It's not quite the end. Look, I've moved it. I thought I'd show this just before I sign off. Look, I can use my bench clamp again now. And it goes right back to the beginning. This lift that I made, well, the harness thing I made to lift it in the rollers, and I've just used it. I couldn't film it. Well, I could do, but I couldn't be bothered. It'd be a lot of hassle. And this old rope winch thing I've had for years and years, that's an old meat hook at the top. And a strap, one of these straps I've had for ages. So I've just wrapped that around there so that it doesn't do any damage. It's gone right around the bottom. I lifted the whole thing up on the rolling road as well. And all I had to do was to take the weight on it just here and just ease it across. Job done. I'm dead chuffed with that. Shame I'm not going to be using it much, because I could, just as easy use it here and load it down onto a trolley or something. But say I won't be doing that because I won't be going to any clubs. But anyway, there you go. Now this is the end. Bye.